We're going to do us a walk around of my 2006 Lexus GX470 Overland camper. This vehicle is derived of two completely different trucks, a Lexus SUV and an old beat up 84 Toyota Sunraider motorhome. This is one of one, completely custom. Let's check this bad boy out. So what you see behind me is a brainchild that me and the boys had while we were on a trip. And it was to create something that had never been created before, to take something unique and make it more unique, to take something really, really cool and make it even cooler. And I think we accomplished that with the Toyota Lexus Sunraider. What that is two completely separate vehicles from two different centuries, and we cut them up and put them all together. I did it at home in my garage with nothing much more than a Sawzall, a hope and a dream, and a welder, and plenty of beer. So what we have is a 1984 Toyota Sunraider 18-foot camper shell, which has been removed from the camper and grafted onto a 2006 Lexus GX470 all-wheel drive V8 monster. And it has no trouble and no complaint about having that camper on the back. It is super fun, super phenomenal, and extremely comfortable. So on the front of the Overland camper, we have the classic ARB bumper with the ARB scrub bars that run down to a rock slider, all connected one piece. Got a 12.5 winch, some auxiliary lighting, and of course, the good old farm jack. I personally really like that cement colored gray. This was the closest color I can get from Raptor liner, which is like a bed liner paint. It's extremely durable and it hides bad bodywork. We also got a nice snorkel on there in case you need it, and it is indeed hooked up. The vehicle will probably shut off long before the water gets that high, but it looks cool. So let's check out the rest of it. So for tires and wheels, I'm running Mickey Thompson's 16x10s with Toyo Open Country ATs coming in at a 265/75/16, which is about a 32-inch tire. So as far as the suspension, I'm running Old Man Emu ARB's heaviest suspension they make, including their torsion bars, coil springs, and I'm running 1-inch white line sway bars to keep the sway under control in this behemoth. So this is where the continental divide of the Lexus and the Sunraider is. Right here. That line that you see is where two completely uncompatible vehicles became compatible. And we have a whole build series on that. It's called the Wing Wall video. You can check out in the description below. So the door here was a bit of a project to make it to work because it was so close to where they were joined together. And the camper is actually 10 inches shorter than the Lexus height-wise, which is why the door is not 10 inches lower. But I was able to make it fit here, and I was able to reuse the factory original paneling on the door here to make it look nice and OEM. So on the side here behind the door, I put a garden bib, like a hose bib. This way you have instant water on the outside. And actually it has been super helpful to have that. If you ever do a build like this with onboard water, you definitely want an outdoor spigot. This spot right here was actually the original wheel well. And I decided to, instead of covering it up, I wanted to make something unique here. I made it into a barbecue. This way, when you're out camping, you can bust out the side queue here and make yourself some bacon, some cheeseburgers, whatever you want to make. All the stink and grease stays out here. Then it stows neatly in the original wheel well out of the way. So coming around the back of the Overland camper, we have the good old traction boards. Never leave home without those. Those things have saved me so many times. Then we have the trasheroo, which is where obviously we throw out the garbage, and I keep like bags and stuff in a little zipper compartment. Then we have a little access trunk, which gets to the furnace and some electrical. And then we have the tank for the diesel heater. And of course, a little backup camera and a little bumper. So on the driver's side of the vehicle, we have a couple components that I never leave home without, which would be my axe, my shovel, and the rake and a tire table, literally a table that hooks to the tire. Convenient, light, little, and it doesn't take up much space. The rake is specifically useful because I use it to clean out around the fire pits. This way, if you get a good fire going, there's less chance of it spreading. Now for the part you have been waiting for. What the heck does the inside of this thing look like? Is it a pass-through? Is it roomy? Can you stand up in it? Well, you're about to find out. Welcome to the inside of the Lexus Overland camper. This is where it all comes together, where I made it comfortable and capable in one vehicle. So what we have is a pretty simple layout. We have our kitchen, we have our bathroom, we have all the amenities of home in this small space. But space was a premium in here. So let me show you around some of the little gadgets and little trinkets in here that make this particular build so unique. So my wife and I love good food, and Stephanie's a very good cook, so I decided to build her an actual kitchen. So we built in a nice propane-fired stove. Reason I go with induction is because the gas can also serve as a heat source in case things go awry. The sink is a nice full deep stainless steel sink. It is 12 by 15 and is 8 inches deep. And we have this pretty unique faucet I kind of found on accident on Amazon. This faucet can do normal straight faucet water, or if you turn it horizontal, it does a big fan, and it really saves a lot of water, which is great because the camper only has a 15.5 gallon tank because it's condensed. We also extended the counter. So we have this pull out for a cutting board for extra space, or if I'm outside working, I can reach right through this little hole and grab food off of that. So underneath the sink, I decided to put the propane in the water pump, and there they are. I went with the 20-pound cylinder because it's easier and more convenient to take out and fill, because driving up to the propane fill tanks with an RV can sometimes be a hassle. That has worked out great. The counter is a full length of this camper because you sit back here, which I'll show you in just a second, but I wanted to show you these little magnets. So cut into the counter, I use some flat mount magnets that grab anything metal. And it's super convenient because all this stuff flies around in here anytime you're driving around. These become projectiles, but with the magnets, they become stationary and they don't go flying anywhere. I have my little tin cups. They stick right to it also. So anytime you're driving around or whatever, none of this stuff goes flying. And I've actually used them not just for this. If I've had some spare keys on me, I've thrown them on there and they just stay there. Nuts, bolts, whatever's in your pocket, really. So magnets, if you're gonna build one of these, get lots of magnets. Magnets are your friend. This cut in here is designed for 2 people to be able to fit facing this way. Originally, these had a dinette back here where there was a chair here and a chair here and a little table. And although it's a little bit easier flow, it is a waste of space. So by building it this way, my wife and I could sit next to each other, be looking at the same view, and enjoy a good conversation and a great meal. So that's our basic kitchen layout. It's nice, it's simple, it all works good, and it's all designed to work in one space, including a refrigerator. This is our dual zone set power, and it's been a great refrigerator. We did buy it with the little insulator, which seemed to definitely make a significant difference in how much it ran. So this is a lounge. This is where all the chilling happens. I have a beautiful view. It's comfortable, it's clean, it's cozy. I got my coffee machine right next to me, my little cups hanging on the magnets. Slam one of them in there, fire that up, and just be able to relax after a long, hard day of driving. The cabinet that the cups are hanging on is where I keep all my spices for cooking, couple books, a couple extra towels. And then above me is the closet, which is where you put all your clothes, obviously. And underneath me is what I call the garage. Spare parts, tools, some wiring, a couple things like that. But that's basically the lounge. Comfortable, cozy, home away from home. So this is our bedroom in our tiny house on wheels. We replaced the original mattress with a memory foam, which made it a lot more comfortable. The headroom is a little low. It gets a little annoying if you wake up because you could hit your head on it. And whoever's sleeping on the window side is kind of roll over you to get out. Other than those 2 things, it's awesome to have a full-size bed. So a huge key factor to this entire build was the bathroom. Most of these RVs have tiny, tiny bathrooms. I mean tiny, like I'm a pretty small dude and I would barely be able to fit in this thing. So on this one, we put a big bathroom. Voila, we have a 4-foot by 2.5-foot bathroom. So now me and my wife could actually come in here and take a shower together, save water, and still have the space to do it. We have a composting toilet in here. So this is designed to be able to use while driving also. We have some handles to hang on to. My wife actually took a shower driving down the road. The bathroom can be used going down the road. Behind the medicine cabinet is all the toiletries. And then above me is a power vent. And then we use the hot tap for the shower. There's a lot of ways to do hot water, but I have a lot of experience with the hot tap and other off-road trucks and so on, and they've been great. The heat shield is for the heat coming out of the hot tap. Got some hangers for clothes and stuff, because when we're not using it as a bathroom, it works great as a drying line. I picked this particular pan because of the drain. I like the way the drain is a full length, and coming out underneath it, it gave me a lot of room to be able to make that fit in this tight little space. And it looks pretty cool. The cover obviously comes off so you can clean out any hair, anything that gets stuck in there. But this was a main feature to this, and it worked out perfect. We decided to go with a pull type door because it saves a lot of space. It's nice and light, because you have to remember these get heavy quick. Ounces equal pounds, and you want to keep it as light as you can, but actually have some structure to it. One thing I could not stand about old RVs or RVs in general is how cheap they feel. This one does not feel cheap. Everything is thick wood. It's all made of metal. Everything is put together in a way that feels quality, and it's not overly heavy. So there you have it. One of my favorite parts about this build is that this whole truck is connected to this. The old cheese box that used to be here, which would have been an 84 Toyota pickup, as awesome as they are, and I love them, they are far, far from comfortable. This, you can drive 5, 10, 15 hours a day and not be destroyed. Other than that, I left the interior pretty much original. It's all there. I did add the control for the electrical, which I'll show you in a second. I got a couple levels crudely mounted to the center console to get level when I park. That's about it. Other than that, she's original. So I'm sure you're wondering what's powering this whole thing, and that would be a 3600 watt-hour EcoFlow. I really like EcoFlow. I've used EcoFlow forever, and this thing works great. And here's the nice thing about it. If it ever breaks, I could pull it out, get a new one, and pop it right in. Plus, when I store it, I could take it out and keep it nice and safe out of the RV. As far as heat is concerned, I'm running a 5 kilowatt diesel heater, which is a lot. It'll cook you right out of this thing. I probably could have did a 2 kilowatt, but I got a 5. So behind the seat, I put all of the necessary get-tos, basically all the fuses for the 12-volt side, the breakers for the 115-volt side, the DC to DC converter. We have the Midland GMRS radio. I always struggle with that. And then the load controls, which depends on where the charger comes from, solar or for the engine. The solar panels are not on yet, but they will be here shortly. And then we have a little map in case it breaks. I know exactly how to go about fixing it. And that's about that for the electrical. The rest of it is in places you simply can't see. To widen the pass-through, I used the original sunroof hole that the Lexus has, and I just made it fit right into the factory spot here. This way you can access the cab and the camper like that. So that is the build of the Lexus Overland camper. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed building it. I enjoyed using it. This whole entire build is on our channel, so do check that out. We'll put a link in the description, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Seating for 2. Don't bring up the engine.
More energy.
Okay, more energy.
Less bouncing.
This is my refrigerator. Welcome to my wife. You sit down next to each other. One right here, and then this flips up. Hold on. And this flips up. 2 people could sit next to each other and look out the same direction. Because I noticed,
Did you just braid?
need new battery.
Hey, Zach, we need some more batteries.
So for tires and wheels, we're running the fanciest wheels you've ever seen on a bro truck. We have 16 by 10 Mickey Thompson aluminum wheels with Toyo Open Country ATs.
The mic's in the shot still.
The wheel used the well in this wheel well.
Okay, ready? Okay, seriously.
Okay. So this little spot right here, which kind of looks...
This was the...
We're really having trouble getting past this part because the camera guy won't stop laughing.
I'm sorry, it's funny.
But what I found out was that the magnet in the pepper shaker was upside down, so it repelled. So I had to use this one, which is just G. And I don't know what G stands for. Grinder. Ah, that's what it stands for, or does it? There we go. Grinder. That's the grinder. Pepper grinder. George, it's my George grinder. And then right back out. This stupid thing. It's stuck in my... Oh my gosh. It's like getting away from the air. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Good enough? Is that good enough?
I don't know, is it?
I don't know. Cooper, you tell me.